Good day and welcome back to another DBZ Dark Metal video. In this video we're going to be taking a look at the Extreme Z battle for the Golden Frieza and how you can build your teams. Now I've got some select units on the right hand side for players who are obviously looking for leads or for just best case scenario units or obviously for useful units. Please bear in mind that because it is a legendary Extreme Z Awakening, we need to make sure that we have the legendary power link active. You can't just have the link on your characters, it has to be active between them. So because of this, you need to be able to keep in mind that you want to connect two legendary power characters. Now, Power Beyond Super Saiyan is the effective category against Frieza. There is a TUR lead in the form of the Int Blue Boys, so the Int Blue Goku and Vegeta, the TUR, but I wouldn't necessarily use them. They just don't really feel like they will be fairly useful unless you have absolutely no option. You're better off using either the AGL Blue Boys or you're better off using the Tech God Boys, who obviously have their ECA. Alternatively, you can always use a sub-lead for a GT team, which I did, or you can use a Giant Egg Power team, or you can even use a fusion team under the Strength Blue Goku and Vegeta, which is always a viable option. In terms of kind of everything else, I went and built two different teams. It's going to depend obviously on what you have in terms of box, units, kits, etc. I think for me overall, I found that this team worked pretty nicely. I went with the GT Heroes team. I have my own SS4 Gogeta, but I did not use SS4 Gogeta, largely because I wanted to create a team whereby I didn't have to use him. But he's really great because if you do have him, he can one-shot most rounds. In fact, he one-shots all the stages, provided you obviously have him under a lead and everything. So if you can, and you're struggling, or you just want to finish it super quick, I do suggest any team where you can kind of abuse that AGL SS4 Gogeta as much as possible. He's really quite good, really quite important, towards how everything goes. So that was definitely something that worked for me, for sure. Without a doubt, I think that team probably worked the best for me. I didn't think there was any, like, how can I say, concerns or anything around teams. I think that just worked really well for me overall. So I was very happy with that. Obviously, the alternative is kind of go like a God Boys kind of like team, where you're using majority just pure kind of like units, Power Beyond Super Saiyan team, and that's also great because you also have obviously the really big power up of the like double Tech Boys, which does help a lot obviously. So for me, definitely a really good options here. So many so that making a team I don't think is too much of an issue. My personal preference is obviously GT Heroes. Ultimately, I thought that team worked the best and functioned the best. So yeah, that's just entirely up to you though. In terms of the actual fight itself, for my team build, there was nothing too crazy that you had to do. Like I said, we're using the power of the SS4 AGL Gogeta, who is going to absolutely rinse and dominate. So he's going to pretty much be one-shotting every stage. He's going to be basically clearing it out super easy. So we don't have, at least from my side, a ton of concern around how to actually play the rounds. Basically, even if you somehow fail, you can still just reset constantly until you hit AGL Gogeta in the first slot, and then he'll probably, more than most times, defeat the boss, especially if he has legendary power active, which is always something that's pretty good. All in all, I think Frieza's EZA looks pretty solid. Obviously, when we take a look at Frieza, when we take a look at his EZA, when we take a look at everything like that, I think it's important to take note that he's obviously designed to work alongside the new tech Golden Frieza Gogeta, and he's pretty good. He's got a lot of really good stuff. Yeah, he's got that defense up. He's got that, big damage reduction and crit chance, which is very, very good. He lasts pretty long with that now, all things considered, which is really solid. If you look at it and like assess everything, like his damage reduction lasts quite a while now because it's only going every time he's on rotation, which is very, very, very crucial. So yeah, I'd say overall he feels good. We'll have to see how well he does. Definitely good for short form content to around turn kind of 12. I think is pretty good. So that would be my honest suggestion. But I think he looks good. He looks solid. We'll have to see how good he is. He links up very nicely with the Tech Golden Frieza, so there's definitely spectrum for him and everything. So we just have to see how those two mesh together and where they kind of come together. Obviously, all things provided for. Really, really, really nice looking EZA, and quite a solid alternative as well to Golden Frieza if you don't have him.